Let's start with MLB. Jimmy the Bag. Obviously, the Dodgers are down 2-0, and now they're a big favorite here. Porcello against Buehler. It does feel like it's got Dodgers win written all over it, but there's no way in hell I would take that line. And in fact, at the current line, I might even be tempted to take a shot with Boston -1 because, as we know, Boston is the better team. And just taking a -1 in this here baseball game, you're going to get a huge underdog line. Very enticing to take the better team getting a big number, right, Jim?
Extremely enticing.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the Dodgers would win one game so we could fade Buehler against the righty. But some very interesting stats. First off, we need to know about J.D. Martinez. I expect he's going to be in the game. He's still dealing with his ankle injury. There are questions about what's going on with him. Very interesting. So during the regular season, these teams both smashed righties. They were 1-2 in OPS in Major League Baseball against righties. Red Sox hit 275, 817 OPS. Dodgers hit 255, 796 OPS. Both teams are about 100 OPS points lower in the postseason. Red Sox against righties, 242, 725 OPS. And Dodgers are even worse, 214, 697 OPS. Game time temp 77 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out softly to right field. It gets down to real soft by the end of the game, but nice offensive weather. If I know that it's all the market's going towards the under, but if I know that JD's in the lineup, I will take the over in this game.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be leaning. I haven't bet this one. I didn't touch the overnight line. If I had to make a bet, I'd probably take a shot with the under, and more so with Boston -1. The alternative run line right now at Bet365 is +260. You're getting the better team here at a huge underdog line just to win by 2. If you want to take it by 1, my -1, it's like +200 or something. That is just tempting as hell. I like Buehler. Maybe Boston second half, but Boston on the second half is -119.
I agree. Sorry, I just want to say to Anna Merrick, yes, save your MMA if you don't mind for the afternoon show. That's when we're going to show your video. And the Gate Pass Key, congratulations hitting your 5 puck lines last night. I had 2 of my Arizona and Minnesota, but great job on the Hawks. That went against me. The Bruins, that went against me. Great job.
I already know that Anna Merrick likes Ozdemir by knockout. I found that out right before the DJ Big Boss video from yesterday's show. Totally partially ruined my enjoyment of the DJ Big Boss video from yesterday. I know Anna Merrick is on the other side of me in that one, and it concerns me. Very deeply.
As it should. But let's hammer that on the late show. We got a lot to go over, but it's very interesting stuff, no doubt. Dave L.A. saying game starts at 5 p.m. and in Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine, the sun creates a shadow for 1 hour. Pitchers take advantage of the shadow. I'm on first 5 under 4 and Red Sox money line. Yeah, I'd be leaning under, and I'd be leaning first 5. Wait, who said that? Dave L.A. Oh, shout out to Dave L.A. Now that's a comment right there. Yeah, that's a guy who's looking at factors that are hard that are hard for the nerds to put in their spreadsheets, and hard for the artificial intelligence fucking bots to get a handle on. Right? Go ahead. The Red Sox are a big dog here. They're 5-0 on the road in the playoffs. I mean, these aren't easy teams. I mean, they go in and smash New York. They go in and smash Houston. Do you have? Yeah. No,
I'm just saying, King Rail, you can tell Pete used to watch BET Uncut in the late 2000s. Yes, I did. A little bit earlier than that. But yes, I did used to watch. That was my fucking addiction. Fucking cable TV growing up. All right, sorry. It just
no problem.
Jumped right out of me. Go ahead, Jim.
Red Sox bullpens look much better than the Dodgers bullpen so far. Dodgers went hitless against Kelly, Eovaldi, and Kimbrel in Game 2. Ryan Madsen, whom was trusted implicitly, looked terrible. He's allowed all 5 of his inherited runners to score in the first 2 games. Porcello in the postseason, 1-0, 4.22 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, almost exactly the same numbers he had during the regular season. Only 10 2/3. During the regular season, lefties 241, 727 OPS, righties 240, 672 OPS. Buehler never faced the Red Sox in his career. Porcello hasn't faced them since 2011, I believe. I don't have that stat in front of me. Buehler gave up a combined 9 runs first 2 playoff outings, rebounded with a strong 4 2/3, but it was just 4 2/3 against Milwaukee in that crucial Game 7 victory. I think he's a character guy who can handle a situation like this. In the postseason, 0-1, 5.40 ERA, 1.08 WHIP. During the regular season, neither lefties or righties could touch him at all. 195, 569 OPS, 191, 544 OPS.
Yeah, I would be leaning first 5 under. It's a little bit cutting it close at 4 because you have to get a 3 to get a cash there. Leaning first 5 under, leaning full game under, and leaning Boston -1. That's just how I'm thinking. I haven't bet any of those yet. And you want to review it in the evening show?
Definitely. I want to see the story on JD, and that will give me a little bit more time to make a move on it.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I do like Bueller. The Boston first 5 team total, though, is 1.5. That's cutting it close. The full game team total under is 3 plus 111. That's cutting it close. So once again, I'm leaning like Boston team total under and Boston minus 1.5, which is like totally anti-correlated. Not a good sign, as we talk about in this show. You know what I'm saying? If you find yourself analyzing a game and leaning towards both sides, that might be a game that you might want to just pass on, because it's an indication, not that you're a bad handicapper in general, but maybe that you're with respect to that specific game, that you might not have a good read. And that is the case for me right here. I have a lean to Boston minus 1.5 and Boston team total under 3 at plus 111. Those are extremely anti-correlated, which tells me that I have no idea what I'm doing with this game. Probably best to just pass. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
yes, and if the season has been any sign, I should just stop betting baseball for the rest of my life.
And actually, last night was a perfect example of, this is something you want to do in sports betting, unless you're doing it recreationally, betting a tiny amount. It was a huge NHL card, but what did I do with my picks on the card? I just focused in on the one game that I really felt like I had a good read on, which was low-hanging fruit. LA to continue to struggle. You know what I'm saying? There was someone who already made a comment in the comment section saying, is LA going to win a game again? The answer to that is yes, but yesterday was clearly another bad spot for them. And, in sports betting, it can be a little bit boring just to stick to the low-hanging fruit, because you're like, well, that was so obvious. That's not fun. You know what I mean? You want to make an insightful call like Kobe Valentine sometimes does with Purdue winning outright or Toledo winning outright. So I understand. It can actually be boring just to stick to the low-hanging fruit. But as far as profits are concerned, you know what I mean?
Well, we saw it in the baseball season when Twadi Latte went on that giant run with the Reds, team total overs and reverse run lines during their 6-week run, and he cleared like $7 or $8 grand in 5 or 6 weeks.
I think people appreciate when I talk about betting theory in general, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's like, you know what it's like, like psychologically, it's like we were looking at that game yesterday, and I was just like, look, if LA puts up 3 goals, I'm fine with the losses. It's such an obvious play, and but then it cashes, and you don't feel like a genius for doing that. But when you look at your bottom line, where there's other games where maybe you're not seeing it clearly, and you have your one or two low hanging fruit plays, and then your 8 other plays where you're trying to force it a little bit, and then the low-hanging fruit cashes, the 8 other plays go 3 and 5, just stick with the low-hanging fruit. It's a little bit boring, but it can be much, much, much better for your bottom line. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yes, but it just doesn't make sense, I think, to in some extent, when you're trying to go for a big score. We saw some baseball cappers with very impressive records this year, and it was reverse run lines, and I know, and I went over my numbers again from last year, and I had a really high success rate on favorites on the minus 1.5, but I don't think that's going to make me a truly great NHL capper. I think you need to find the dogs on the reverse puck line, or in baseball, the reverse run line. Colby's saying, Jimmy, you won't know until game time regarding JD Martinez. Cora won't announce until then. You're probably right there. Rob Rogers says, on Dodgers today, plain and simple. We all know that this year's Boston team is just incredible, but I expect Machado, Turner, and Puig to do what they got to do. And our man Shadow, whom we love dearly, says, made it, better late than never. Cheers all. Hit a 16 parlay last night. Nice. Thanks for the assist all. Great job, Shadow.
So just to wrap up baseball, first inning, no score is also tempting at about minus 139 at Pinnacle right now. But as of right now, no plays from either Jimmy the Bag or I.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.